Hey guys, welcome back. Now, in September, Bitcoin defiantly broke the trend of 6 down months in a row, ending the month up 4%. And this was even though the S&P 500 went down 5%. And so the question on every crypto enthusiast's lips is, what happens next? What does October have to bring for Bitcoin and the crypto market? And well, that is what this video is all about. In this video, we'll be looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. 3 charts showing what's happened in the past to give us an indication about where the market is headed next. Now, although the crypto market is ripping higher right now, does this mean that it's never going to go down again, or will things roll over once again? Okay, so first up, let's start with the good. And this is the evidence that says that October is going to be an excellent month for the crypto market. Okay, so starting with the good, and this is the monthly seasonality for Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin does well, then pretty much the crypto market does well, and vice versa. And let me just mark this chart up. So the first thing we're going to put on are the pre-halving years. So we've got 2023, we've got 2019, 2015, and 2011. And comparing to see what Bitcoin has done in the pre-halving years is always good. And then the big thing to note, we did a couple of videos about Redtember because 6 of the previous Septembers have all been red. So probabilities were dictating that this was going to be a red month. However, as you can see, a nice big block of red. However, Bitcoin and crypto being crypto ended the month, surprising everyone, up 4%, bucking the trend, and now all eyes are moving on to October. And what's interesting this time is that the trend historically has been green, even stronger than this trend. So as we can see, we've got 7 of the last 8 have been green. And not just green, check out these double-digit returns, 40%, 30%, 10%, almost 50%. 14, 30. So October most recently has been an amazing month for crypto. But the big question mark is if it can buck the trend in September, there's nothing to say that it can't buck the trend in October. But again, no one can say 100% for sure. All we can do is work with probabilities. And this data indicates that the highest probability, most likely outcome is that we're going to get double-digit returns in October. So that is the good news. And this is the reason why you see so many people shouting about October. And this is an even stronger probability than the down month in September was. So that is the good news. Let's now move on to the bad. And so this comparison from a great chart from Into the Cryptoverse, and this is comparing the pre-halving years for Bitcoin. And what this shows, so this is the current year right now that Bitcoin is going through. We've had these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and this is still intact unless it breaks below this, which it almost did but didn't. And then this orangey line is the average of the other pre-halving years, being 2019 and 2015. And actually right now we're just at this 275-day mark. So history hasn't repeated just yet, as this chart is saying that there was more downside to come, and this would have taken Bitcoin below 25K. Which so far hasn't happened. And then if we look out, there wasn't a massive spike so much in October. It says we may get some big runs, but also more downside is still to come. And if history repeats, it will be still lower than it is today before finishing the year relatively strong. So looking at the pre-halving years, this says it isn't terrible news, but if history repeats, then Bitcoin will still be going below 25K in the next 1 to 2 months, or even a little bit further out. And then finally, we are going to finish with the downright ugly. And this is something that I covered in my last video, but as it could have such a dramatic impact on crypto, it's definitely worth covering again. And a great chart by Rec Capital. And again, it's looking at this pre-halving year going back 2019, 2015, but this time, this data indicates that the crypto market has crashed in the past and so could crash again. These next few months are really an uncertain, critical, can go up, can go down time for crypto. And in 2019, around this time, 200 days out, we saw a 37% crash to Bitcoin. And if this were to happen today, it would take us right back down to a double bottom around the 15,500 for Bitcoin. And then again in 2015, around this time, around the 200 days out, there was another crash, this time almost 25%. And if history were to repeat, this would take us down testing the $20,000 level for Bitcoin. And basically what it's showing right now, 2023, where we are, we're in this tight wedge pattern and it's still a very uncertain time. And it's a time where you can get these big runs, big crashes, big runs, big crashes, big runs, big crashes, and no one really knows when the final crash is in, because one of these days, one time, it won't be coming back down. And that is the question everyone's trying to figure out. Which pump is going to be the last one? So as you can see, never a dull time in crypto. Things are really starting to heat up. And let me just finish with this. With Bitcoin bucking the trend in September, it does make it more difficult to know where the crypto market will be going over this next month. According to seasonality, probability dictates that this next month is not just going to be a good month, but it's likely going to give double-digit returns. However, when we look at the past 2 pre-halving years, then things don't look quite as rosy. And in fact, the trend is still down and it would take Bitcoin below 25K. And finally, if we compare against the 200-day mark from the Bitcoin halving, then history says we will get another double-digit drop before things really kick off once again. Then, of course, we have to also take into account that crypto is not just operating in its tiny little bubble. We have to take into account the bigger economic environment or global macro picture. Are we printing money or contracting the money supply right now? Do we have high interest rates or low interest rates right now? Have we recently gone past a recession, or is a recession due at any time? So as you can see, the global macro picture is not good and adding additional headwinds. And so unfortunately for me, when adding all of these together, I'd say it's more likely that things will roll over once again. However, as no one knows 100%, I have just made a couple of changes to my personal portfolio, building on the philosophy of how to win in either direction. And that is what I'll be showing in my next video. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you're subscribed. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, just one question to leave for you guys. Although we're seeing a nice pump right now, is this the one that never comes down again, or will things roll over once again? Let me know below. And just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.